Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, we're going to be looking at some of Lamine Yamal's words ahead of that final in the Euros against England. And as well, we're going to be looking at some words from Javier Tebas. He has talked about Barcelona and Nico Williams as well. We're going to be looking at his quotes. And then as well, we're going to be looking at Hansi Flick's first training sessions in Barcelona. Some players are impressive. Some players he's already seemed as like, hey, could he be a main key for my team? And then as well, towards the end of the video, we're going to be talking about a surprise player who's apparently already back at the Barcelona training facilities. We're going to be talking about that. But guys, before I get started on the video, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys can stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But guys, let's get straight into the video and let's talk about Lamine Yamal, guys, because Lamine Yamal has been absolutely amazing in the Euros. We've talked about it before, and he recently had an interview with Gerard Romero on Gigantes FC. That is his Twitch channel, and he talks about the final, and this is what he has to say in regards to that. I'm very excited for the final to come. After the match against France, I went to bed to rest. My Instagram was flooded, but I don't see it as pressure. People are happy and supportive, and I try to enjoy it. And that's a very unique thing, guys, because as a 16-year-old playing in such a what is going to be your first major final, that's a huge accomplishment slash milestone, and he doesn't view pressure. He's not nervous about it, and hopefully Lamine Yamal, he does well in that final and he is able to win the Euros, and what an achievement that would be. And talking about Spain's success in the tournament, how are they achieving this success? And he says, our secret is that we're like a close-knit group. We give everything for each other, and even those who can't play, like Pedri and Carvajal, we always celebrate goals together. And that's something that you are noticing, whenever these players are out there on the pitch. They're not only professionals, they're not only teammates, but they're friends. And you notice a difference, for example, compared to other teams, for example, that don't have that like tightness. And even just look at Argentina, World Cup champions, Copa America champions, and what do you say about that team? They're not only teammates, professionals, but they're super close friends and even family at that point. But looking at some more of Lamine Yamal's quotes, he also talks about Lionel Messi. He talks about that what is to be an iconic photo of Messi bathing Lamine Yamal, and he says, "I saw the baby photo with Messi that my father showed me. We wanted to avoid comparisons, but they don't bother me. I've never spoken with Messi, but I hope to someday. I would love to play alongside him." Now, Lamine Yamal playing with Messi, that's something that we would dream of, but that's very unlikely to happen, as these two players are in completely different parts of their career. Lamine Yamal just starting his, and Lionel Messi basically finishing his career. Two different developments in their career, but Lamine Yamal, Messi, that combination would be absolutely amazing to see. And the last piece of news. No, the last quote I want to talk about in regards to Lamine Yamal, it's in regards to that banter in regards to Rabiot, and he says this: "I've never spoken to Rabiot. There's no need to provoke anyone from England." And now he did, after the end of the game, say habla in regards to Rabiot. And it's funny that he's never spoken to him, but what a way to silence your critic. But now, guys, we'll be talking about Javier Tebas, as he did talk about Lamine Yamal. He talked about Barcelona. He talked about Nico Williams, and he talked about a lot of things in regards to Barcelona. And this is what he has to say in regards to Lamine Yamal. Regarding Lamine, those of us who have followed his evolution could already see that he was a different kind of player, and he has proven it. Stars are born different. And, as the La Liga president, you should be saying glowing words about your players in La Liga, because players doing well in La Liga means that the league is attractive and can be, more attractive for viewers across the world. And, as a league, you want to have the biggest stars in your league. And now he talks about Barcelona on whether they can achieve the one-to-one rule, something that's been talked about a lot this summer. And he says, "I was heavily criticized from Barcelona when I said that the club would have had a hard time reaching that situation and being able to sign players. Now I say it is the moment when they are the closest to reaching the one-to-one rule. With the reduction in wage bill and club structure, and with a few more moves, the chances of reaching that one-to-one and thus having more freedom to act are much higher. And that's very, very good news to see Barcelona reaching that one-to-one rule, because as soon as Barcelona, they're able to reach that, Barcelona, they're then able to make, the signings that we do need, for example, like Nico Williams. But he continues talking about, he talks about, whether Barcelona, they're going to be able to sign Nico Williams. And he says, if they reach the one-to-one rule, they can do it. Consider that with Barcelona's effort to reduce their wage bill by more than 200 million, and other measures are already taken within the club that have nothing to do with levers. They can perfectly incorporate a player like Nico Williams. I think he has a release clause of 58 million euros. When you buy for 58 million, the amortization is divided by the years of the contract. If you sign him for 5, it would be less than 20 million per year, plus what you pay the player. Barca can be in those amounts perfectly manageable if they are in the one-to-one rule. It's a club close to €1 billion in revenue. They can be in that line. And that's very, very good news. Barcelona getting closer to signing players, because if Barcelona are able to sign players, then that means Barcelona, they're able to have a chance to compete in, all the major tournaments. But now, guys, I'm going to be talking about the players who have been impressive for Hansi Flick, and that is Gavi. Apparently, according to some reports, Gavi has been absolutely amazing in the preseason. He hasn't been training with the ball and everything. He's doing physical activities and everything. But early signs is that Gavi is impressing Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick is loving the attitude, the passion, and the dedication shown by Gavi. And he views him as a key player in the team. And Gavi, he's a player that Barcelona desperately missed, last season. Gavi was such a key player for Barcelona, and I always say he's basically that glue in the midfield, that has the attacking potential, but then also the defensive work rate. He just adds that balance to that midfield, and he was such a huge miss last season. And his timeline of recovery, he's most likely set to come back around September, October, around that range. And no risks are going to be taken with Gavi, and that should be the case. We want Gavi to be 100% before he is back out onto the pitch. And talking to a player who is close to returning, that is Alejandro Balde. Alejandro Balde, he is training with the team, but right now he's only doing physical group. And it is expected that next week he's going to start working with the group. And this is very good news, because just like with Gavi, Alejandro Balde, he was a key player for Barcelona, before that injury. And now, talking about a player who potentially is changing minds and changing opinions, that is Romeo, because a report from Mundo Deportivo said that Romeo will stay at Barcelona. Hansi Flick values his physical characteristics and has given his approval, and the club will not allow him to leave without a reasonable offer. Now, that is what Mundo Deportivo has reported, but I say take it with a grain of salt, because just like with a lot of the Barcelona players so far, none of their futures have been decided. Hansi Flick, he wants to have a look at them during preseason, in the matches, and just see how they develop over the next upcoming weeks, and then make a final decision. And so, even though Mundo Deportivo, they are giving out this report, I would take it with a grain of salt. Maybe Romeo has been very good in preseason training so far, but I don't think the Hansi Flick has basically, given already the green light for him to stay. I think that's something that's going to be decided in the next upcoming weeks. And a player who has shown up, guys, in training, but specifically in the Barcelona facilities, and that is Jules Koundé. And this was very surprising when I did saw him. There is a video of him rolling into the Barcelona training facilities. Jules Koundé, he did return to Barcelona, but this was only to have a chat with Hansi Flick and to also say hello to his teammates. And, Jules Koundé, right now, he will be going on his vacation for the next 3 weeks before he returns to Barcelona. This is very good news, because at first people were saying, is Jules Koundé going to cut his vacation short and, join preseason training? And if I was advising Jules Koundé, I would say do not do that whatsoever, because you've played a lot of minutes, this past season, being a regular starter for Xavi. You played the majority of minutes for France in that right back position, and, looking after your health is the most important thing. And you don't want to overburden yourself with minutes. And taking a long vacation, 3 weeks, that's going to be perfectly good for you to wind down, have some time to relax, and then, focus back up for the start of next season. And so, it's good to see that Jules Koundé, he's taking the initiative to get, acquaint himself with Hansi Flick, but we don't want to see him back at Barcelona so soon. But guys, that was it for the Barcelona news of the day. I will be back tomorrow with some more Barcelona news before we talk about the Euro final, Spain versus England, and then the Copa America final, Argentina versus Colombia. But guys, thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.